Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. No, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Okay, we're gonna sing now, and if you can't hear me, you guys have to sing. So stand up. Check. Oh, just kidding. listen.
I will love you
I will love you
all of my days.
all of my days. You are Lord of lords. You are King of kings. You are mighty God, Lord of everything. You're Emmanuel. You're the great I am. You're the Prince of Peace. Who is the Lamb? You're the living God. You're my saving grace. You will reign forever. You are ancient of days. You are Alpha, Omega, beginning and end. You're my Savior, Messiah, Redeemer, and friend.
You're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life for you. You are holy,
You are holy.
you are mighty,
You are mighty.
you are worthy,
You are worthy.
worthy of praise.
Worthy of praise.
I will follow,
I will follow.
I will listen,
I will listen.
I will love you
I will love you
all of my days.
all of my days.
And
You are Lord of lords. You are King of kings. You are mighty God, Lord of everything. You're Emmanuel. You're the great I am. You're the Prince of Peace. Who is the Lamb? You're the living God. You're my saving grace. You will reign forever. You are ancient of days, and you are Alpha, beginning and end. You're my Savior, Messiah, Redeemer, and friend. And you're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life for you. You are Lord of lords. You are King of kings. You are mighty God, Lord of everything. You're Emmanuel. You're the great I am. You're the Prince of Peace. Who is the Lamb? You're the living God. You're my saving grace. You will reign forever. You are ancient of days. You are Alpha, Omega, beginning and end. You're my Savior, Messiah, Redeemer, and friend.
You're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life for you. Yeah, yeah. You're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life for you. Here we go. Give me a little light there, Sage. We're gonna let them see. What?
Hello, 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 hello.
The Goonies are at it again. We got to increase our budget. That's what we got to do. Yeah, because I heard all you got to do is increase your budget and you can spend more money. That's how Wall Street does it. You don't really need, as long as there's checks left in the book. Are the lights really that far behind? Oh, okay. I really don't want the lights because I got muffins today and I don't know what kind they are. Is this Donna? Huh? Blueberry. Oh, look, it says do not eat except Sean.
got to tell you. So she brought me these are pulpit presents. Learn something. Donna made banana bread 2 weeks, was it 2 weeks ago? Get away. 2 weeks ago. And I took it home and set it on the counter, and it was gone. And then I told them that was gluten-free. So now they all want to be gluten-free. It was better than regular banana bread. So that's why she has to now start right on it. Do not eat except for Sean. So, welcome to Beach Baptist. We're excited you're here. Are you anybody new? I don't care to embarrass you. It's Florida. You brought 2 with you. We're getting stars. Now, Jessica's been here before. She's not new. And it's new this year. Awesome. Wow. We're excited you're back. Who? Malheur. I don't know what she drank this morning, but it's good. Where are you from? I grew up 20 minutes from there. You knew that, right? You did know that? Okay, you do now. In Henderson. Yeah. I think I can put the accent back on for the day if we need to. No, can't do it. Sorry. Not going to do it. Hey, that'd be a good one. Let's, we won't do cities. You want to do cities or you want to do states? Do you care where somebody's from as far as state? No, let's do cities. We don't teach geography in homeschool, so she was like, I won't know where the state is. All right, we're going to do states. So we give you a question to answer for Beach Baptist so that you just kind of get to know each other. You know, you got to go get away from where you're sitting unless you don't know the person around you. You can just turn around. And the question today is just you're going to tell somebody what state you're from, right? Just so we're going to figure out what our states are in here today. So when I say go, you're going to go find somebody, introduce yourself, I'm from, and give that state. On your mark, get set, go. Tucky. Sage. That's right. So you hit the lights. When you hit the lights, she'll start the music. So that when you hit them, if it takes a little bit, no big deal. When it goes dark, she can start the music.
Alright, so which light?
I'll get up there. Oh, you're going to go back to worship. Yeah. So I'll point at you. You click it, and as soon as it goes dark, she'll start it. Oh. What? Go put it there and I'll tell them. Yeah. How many you got? About 10. Okay. And Joyce made them? Yeah. Teach you how to handle your drama.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. What now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appeared. The hour I first believed. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me. And like a flood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace. The Lord has promised good to me. His word, my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me. And like a flood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me. And like a flood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace. The earth shall soon dissolve like snow. The sun forbear to shine. But God, who called me here below, will be forever mine. Will be forever mine. You are forever mine.
And God, I know I'm so thankful that you are forever mine. In a world never going to give us comfort or security. Thank you for being that. And thank you for your grace as we walk through it. In your name we pray. Amen. Y'all be seated. This is my little lamp. If I rub it, the lights will come on. Oh, no, we don't want that. I want some hot coffee. Can you give me some hot coffee? That's just cause. Sage, can you hit the speaking lights? I'll have a muffin. No, this gave me a great chance to tell you that. So these are our Easter. So Miss Joyce makes these sculptures out of shells. You'll find them in the coffee shop. She does this, and then all money gets donated to Guatemala and St. Jude. So she keeps zero. It's her mission project. We have 10 Easter bunnies back there in the coffee shop. They are $10. So if you would like to get one, back there. Really need somebody to buy this one so I don't knock it off this table. I'll just bring another one up. Wouldn't that be funny? I just bring the other one out. You don't have to bring me the money. Oh, well.
You can do that in a coffee shop later. It's okay. Send a friend. I'm going to go with you. Hey, Sage, I think F1 might be on the dimmer a little bit. Huh? Do you want to say hey? I'm not even with it. We have a wedding this week, so just excuse anything that happens. That's what that's for. Everybody asks, who are we hanging? I'm like, I didn't really know that's what it looked like. And so my son, there was a little bit of that talk going on. Well, that is very appropriate. Yeah, it was out. It was an, I didn't say it, but it was an ouch. Anybody know what the sermon's about this week? I was just looking for a little help. No, if you were here last week, you're supposed to know what it's about. I told y'all. Huh? Who was here last week? Oh, no, never mind. Okay, who was here last week and you went? Come on, yeah, what was it about? Oh my gosh. Washing feet. Who said that? Yeah, he did. Okay, I need you to come up here and redo last week's. Now, so the title of the sermon was, what do you do with dirty feet? And then there was a subtitle. Anybody remember what the subtitle was? Yeah, me neither. I mean, honestly, I don't remember what I gave you as a subtitle because that was off. I was on the fly. Remember last week I had a couple of on-the-fly things, and I was like, that's good. We're gonna keep it. I forgot to go back and watch the video so I could see what it was. But we are going to continue. We're going to finish this up. So there will be a little bit, but I shouldn't even tell you this because you do not remember, so who cares? There will be a little bit of a blend, because I jumped. I did read in my notes, and I'm like, I jumped points. So you're going to get one of the points that you shouldn't have got to nearer the end, so you'll get it again, and you'll be like, that sounds the same. It's okay. So we're looking at the story is over in John chapter. Y'all put Sage. Okay, real quick, let's tell it. So this is Sage's first day. She took the job of tech with Sherry. So this is Sage's first day, and Sherry left early. So I just looked back looking for Sherry's head to go, let's go to John, and it's Sage. And I didn't tell Sage. Look at that, John 13. So that was our passage. We're talking about remember there was a festival going on. This was the night before, just before the Passover festival. Everybody's kind of coming into town, and Jesus and the disciples are up in the upper room. And it was just a plain upper room. Remember, there was nobody's house. Maybe they rented it. Maybe it was a conference hall. It's just that kind of thing. They secured a room. We know that Peter and John we know that James and John got the room together. Is that right? Yeah. James and John got the room together. And they all showed up. Everything was in place. There was a basin with water and a towel, but there was nobody to do the actual work. They had not set aside a slave to come in and wash feet. And that was typical. So we kind of went over that last week where the disciples come into the room. We knew that they would have looked around. We knew what they walked in. We knew what their feet looked like when they got there. And they were expecting somebody to wash their feet. But nobody was there to wash the feet, so they went to the table and sat down. In which time the confusion ensued. And the looking around of who's going to take care of this problem. Who's going to do this? I can't be the one who does this. James and John, you remember, would have said, hey, we set this whole thing up. My bad. Somebody else can take care of it. Peter would have said, hey, I'm the one that figured out who Jesus actually was. I can't be kneeling down and washing these people's feet. Others would have probably said, hey, there's no way I'm going to get stuck doing this for the rest of this little shindig we're in the middle of. Every time we get together, I got to wash their feet. I was with them. We're not doing it. So we kind of processed through that. And then we looked at how Jesus is the one that actually gets up and do it. And the points we made last week is that he actually did it. That was number one, that he literally got up and do it. And what it takes for you to do things when God calls you to do it, right? So when you see a need, your first response is not supposed to be, man, I hope somebody takes care of that, right? But we've all done it. I mean, we've all done it, right? Especially if it's a paid position, right? If you ever went in somewhere and you saw a need and you're like, man, who got paid to take care of that, right? I know in church work that is kind of paramount on where you're from, where your churches are, and how that works. But please don't ever do that. We just don't pay anybody here so that nobody can ever say that. No, well, we don't pay them well. Let's put it that way. But when you walk in, especially if you walk into a church and you see something, and you see a need, and something needs to be done, please don't be that person that's just like, man, who should be taking care of that? You. If you saw it, it's your job now. If you see it, please don't be the person that just sees problems that need to be taken care of. Don't be that person. I promise, we don't need you. And I mean, humanity doesn't even need you. You're out, and you're driving by, and there's the guy on the side of the road with the sign. I'm not saying you always stop. I am saying, if anything comes to your mind, do something. Do it, regardless. Don't second guess. Don't judge. Don't try to figure out. Don't look around and see if anybody else is. Just do it. We talked about Elijah doing that. Talked about Elijah being told, okay, tell Ahab it's not going to rain. Now get out of here. Where am I going? Those aren't the questions. Get out of here. What am I going to eat? Those aren't the questions. I'll take care of you. You see, whenever God gives us a need, or you see a need, no matter what it is, when you see it, it's yours. It is not meant for you to just analyze. There's enough of that. We're to be servants. We're to do. And that's what Jesus did. He saw the need. Everybody's feet needed washing, so he got up and did it. And we talked about how you got to prepare for that. When you're going to do something, sometimes there's preparations, there's actions, there's actually just get started, just go, just do it. Nike was really good at telling us that, just do it, right? And that comes from, y'all ever, the millennial, I'm not trying to be insulting, so maybe there's no millennials in here. One? I don't know. You're not a millennial, are you? Anyway. So you know how you look at millennials and we get really derogatory and we're like, they're what are they? Lazy, entitled. That's the word. That's the big word, right? What was the other one y'all were using? Egocentric. I got to get to Google real quick. Egocentric. Okay, could be. But the generations that our generations are the type that are like, somebody really needs to do something. That is the phrase that comes out of my generation and probably the maybe the one before me. Somebody needs to do something. Now, for all their faults, millennials will say, it's going to be me. They may not do it well, in your opinion. They're going to go. They're going to go. In some ways, we should applaud that. Some ways. And we should look at ourselves, and we should say, if we had not just said somebody should, and we had just done, maybe we wouldn't be where we are. See, and I'm talking now about not in the church, but I'm talking of the church. If the church had done more work and less talking about work that should be done, you wouldn't have anything to complain about work needing to get done. And that's all across society. Every social aspect, anything that's going on is affecting you just like it's affecting the world. And when we see a problem, we don't serve those needs, we are now part of the problem. Yeah. we do it from a whole different perspective. And I'm not sitting here today to tell you how to do things. I'm telling you who to listen to when things need to be done. And that's the God that's inside of you. If God doesn't live inside of you, do not listen to anything else I say today, because you are going to do it wrong. We are also going to do it wrong, but at least we've got God to blame. But what nobody in the room can do is nothing when a need is brought before you. You see, wouldn't it have been cooler if there was a race to the basin of water? Wouldn't it have been better if all 12 fought almost to get to the water? Wouldn't that have been better? And when you look around at the things you complain about, wouldn't it be better if we all went after it in some way and it became a race almost to be the servant, to be the one who's going to fill the need, to be the one who's going to show who Jesus really is, to be that? You know what, I'm going to stand up. You know, and if everybody were to say, I'm going to stand up for Jesus, not for some thing, but for him. And I'm going to show the world who he is in my service to him, through him, in it. I'm going to show. If we all did that, imagine the things that you wouldn't have had to talk about last week. The things that you wouldn't be as worried about. Wouldn't be worried about at all. Because we would have done it. I read a story about a little boy, or not little boy, a young man who after high school went to the Marine Corps. And when he came home from leave after basic training, his dad asked him what he learned in service so far. And he said, Dad, I learned what now means. And the dad was like, yeah, I couldn't get it through to him. Thank you, Marine Corps. Any Marine Corps? Hoorah. Peter eventually learned to simply obey. We saw that a little bit last week where Peter kind of argued with Jesus. Y'all do that? I mean, I laugh when I read about Peter arguing with Jesus, and yet I will argue with Jesus. And I would go, Peter, what a moron you are. Just let him wash your feet. Dude, he's God. He knows what he's doing. Why do you think you should have a better idea? And then I go to my prayer closet or just whine and cry to God. Whatever, prayer closet's what a good Christian calls it, but I'm just whining. And I go whine to him and tell him about all the good ideas I have for my life and for situations and for the world. I let him know what's going on down here and what a good servant I am and the blessings I need to receive because of that service. Right? And then read about Peter and go, man, Peter, you're a moron. And then I remember the Bible's a mirror. Morons looking at morons. But in this interaction with Peter, Jesus is expressing his love for them. John 15:13, that new one, Sage, I gave her up there. It's probably at the end. John 15:13, it says, greater love has no man than that he lay down his life for his friends. And you see, that's what he's done for you and me. He was getting ready to do it for them. He has done it for you and me. And through this washing of the feet, Jesus is teaching way more than just dirty feet need to be clean. But can I tell you, sometimes it's just dirty feet need to be clean, no matter what it is. Our church is, let me toot some horns real quick. You all, as a church, are awesome at doing that most of the time. Nobody's perfect, and that's why I say most. When we see physical needs, we go after them. Even when it's not within our power, we go after them. We don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll do it. And we'll make a healthy effort at it. We failed quite a few times doing it. But that's because our mentality is, let's race to get it done. If somebody beats us to it, cool. But we're not going to just sit around and hope somebody does it. That's why in our community, whenever there's a problem, they always look at us as the cause of the problem sometimes, but also as I know who will take it on. And that's what the church needs to be within the community, but that's what you need to be within your community of people. People need to be looking to you for the answers. They need to know that if they see a problem and they can't do it, they don't feel like they can do it, or they're just not there yet, they know somebody who can, and they will go straight to you because they've seen you do it. They've watched your life in action, and they know that you believe this person you say you follow. And the way you talk to people, the way you act with people, the way you serve other people, the way you put yourself second and all that stuff, they know that you know who you say you know. And that gets us farther in life than just trying to get others to fix problems that we see. And that's what Jesus did. So he fixed that. So Jesus, so here's where we're going to get a little bit of a blend. Because I told you a few things Jesus knew last week. I told you one of them. Here's what Jesus knew, and he did it anyway. Because some of you, whenever you see a need, I'll give you an example. And this is why the signs have changed. Before, whenever there was someone in need and they stood at the side of the road, they would hold a sign. And they would say something about food, right? People would stop and they would give them money. And then it became that people would go to McDonald's and they would buy food and they would give it to them. Right? Remember that? I knew of a family who used to give McDonald's out to homeless people or people who were, I don't know if they're homeless. They would stand on the side of the road and need food. They would give them McDonald's, but they wouldn't allow their kids to eat at McDonald's because it wasn't healthy. But they'd give it to the guy on the side of the road because it's cheap. Folks, that's a problem. I don't know if you don't see that or not. That's a problem. But the signs changed after a while. The people holding the signs started to get honest. Don't need food, need beer. Seen the signs? Seen the signs? It did two things. They got honest, and Christians got elitist. It gave you an excuse to not give them money anymore. Oh, if that's what you're buying with it, I'm not going to participate. Did you know, the reason the sign said, did you know that you can live up to 6 months on beer alone? Okay, don't laugh at that. That's a true, Doug. Where's Doug? He's going to fact check me. I may be wrong on the amount of months, but it's supposedly, this is what Google says, so you can't really argue with it. Supposedly there's enough vitamins and other substances in beer that if that's all you can get, you can literally survive on it. Now, this is freaking some of you out. Because if you grew up in the church, you're like, I'd just rather die. I get that. That's cool. But people who don't have anything are very resourceful. And people who don't have anything need to make the money go a lot farther than you do. And literally, when that started, I'm not guaranteeing that this is the truth. But when those stories started is when those signs started changing. Because people were giving people crap to eat. And a guy who has nothing and is living under a bridge would rather drink beer. And then we look at him and go, well, you need to do something better with your life. People. Not y'all. Y'all would not do that. I know that. Y'all would buy him a case of beer. I know. So if you're visiting here, you're like, really? Yeah, I mean, it would be like Natty Light or something, but it's going to buy it. You see, I did that just to figure out which one of y'all would do that. Because it's only funny if you've bought it. For those of you who are like, it's really cheap. It is really nasty. I've heard. Not me, I really don't. I don't like it. Anyway, Jesus knew what was going on when he served the need. He served the need anyway. He didn't use his physical, he didn't use his, wisdom to figure out, well, I'm not doing this because this guy, and I told you last week about Judas, he knew Judas was going to betray him. He still washed the guy's feet the same way he washed every other disciple's feet. He knew. He knew Judas was going to make a bad decision, and yet he loved him anyway. That's your call. Even when I keep saying you all, I don't want it to sound like that. We all think we know the truth, and we respond even just on our version of the truth to people. Much less we know the actual truth. But we get an opinion about something, and then that's how we treat people. We get an opinion about something, and then that's when we decide whether we're going to serve them or not. That is not the way we're called. When we're called to love, we're not called to decide first how to love or if to love. It is just to love and to serve. We have messed this up. This is why your country is divided. Some of your houses are divided. Your churches have been divided. Anytime there's a divide, it's because people have allowed their own attitudes to get in the way of the needs-serving industry. We are at fault because has anyone ever looked at your kids and says, you know better? Anyone would volunteer to say that they've said that to their children? Okay, the rest of y'all are horrible parents. Or you don't have kids. Right? You get so, have you ever added the phrase, I am so disappointed in you. I taught you better, right? And here you are. Aren't you glad God don't have that big old long finger that you see on the Sistine Chapel? That he points down at you and goes, I taught you better. But in reality, he taught us better. Right there. He taught us better. He knew who was going to betray him. He knew who he was. I read another story about a wealthy man who was walking downtown by another shelter type thing, and there was a woman who was washing the feet of this really dirty guy. I mean, he had been outside a while, it looked like. And as he walked by, he said, I wouldn't do that for $1 million. And the lady heard him and said, neither would I. And that's the attitude. This is not a homeless thing. Because needs come in all kinds of packages. People come in all kinds of packages. I highly doubt any of you are going to run out and go, I'm going to find me some dirty feet. Just not going to do it. I hope if you pass some dirty feet that you see need washing, maybe you could, but that's not the point. The point is the attitude behind it. Jesus knew who he was and still did it. He was God himself. He had important things to do. You see, when you look at your calendar and you decide, nah, I'm too busy for that. Nah, I could make a choice there, yeah, but no. You see, maybe we need to figure out who we are. Maybe we need to be reminded that we're put on here to serve him and love him and ourselves, know who we are first, and then push it out. He knew who he was. He was the only one in the room who could have said, literally, one of y'all, do it. He was. How much can you take before you become conceited? How much can you take on in success and take on in whatever it is in your life that makes you sometimes feel better than another, to the point that you won't serve them? Where did you have to go in your life? We all have that level. right? We work ours. I know, I don't mind doing that. That's, oh, yeah, I'll do that. Absolutely, I'll do that. And you do it, so you do it until at some point you hit this level to where you're like, I'm not, no, that's not, No, I got some other stuff. We all get there. Huh? Oh, you don't. That's the point. You see, when you see the need, we don't question the need. We don't question the why of the need. We don't question where this need comes from. My favorite question to debunk. How do I know if that's God telling me to do that? Who cares? If you're getting ready to serve someone, you serve them and find out it wasn't God that told you to serve them, call me. Let me know. Because I think even if we screw it up and we're doing it because we believe God told us, then God is honored. So let me know the next time you honor God and it's a mess up. I don't think it exists. So he knew who he was. He knew who was going to betray him. And he knew, check this, he knew his time was up. Not any brushes with mortality. I have skin cancer spots. I don't even like to say it, right? Because everybody, if you live in Florida, guess what? You have skin cancer. Oh, I know, unless you're smart and you use paint, I don't know. Or stay inside. I have met some pale people in Florida. I have met them. But they just got here, so it doesn't matter. But I say that I haven't had any more, I haven't had no brushes with death. I felt like I was dying with like pancreatitis or something, but not to the you are dying kind of guy. But I wonder what would be on your mind, and I wonder what would be on my mind if I did know that it was up. I think I know what I would be thinking. I think I would be thinking, how can I take care of myself? What do I want to do? Remember the bucket list? I would be creating bucket list of the stuff that I wanted to do. I would get really selfish, I think. And this is just me. I think I would get selfish. Tell me I had a week. I am going to live it large for 6 days, and I'm going to church on 7. I don't know if you really want me to lie to you. Because a lot of times people sit in chairs like you're sitting in and they want people to lie to them. I ain't. I would hope that I wouldn't, but I just think I would. I want to go. That's all I got left. So whew. Or I don't even got to go to church on the 7th one. I know I'm saved. Jesus knew his time was coming within like a week, and he still decided to serve them. He didn't kneel down there and go, do y'all not know what's going on? Do you not know the pressures that I'm dealing with here? Do you all not realize? He didn't have any of that. He was like, you see me doing this. You don't quite get it, but you will. And it wasn't in any condescending manner. It wasn't, you're going to miss me when I'm gone. That'd be a good song. Making note of that. But I definitely think I would be a little selfish in my thinking. Problem, I'm a little selfish in my thinking, and I haven't been told I'm dying in a week. What does that have to say about me? It's all about us. See, John is wanting us to see something in Jesus. God is fully man. If God, as the fully human Jesus, can serve, knowing those things that he knew, that his time was up, who he was, and who was going to betray him, as a man, he could serve them. You can too. You can serve someone who's a different political party. You can serve someone who has another attitude about the social issue that rubs you the wrong way. You can serve anyone that God puts in front of you. for no other reason other than the following of him. We even see Jesus hanging on the cross, and he's concerned about his mother's future. Right? What else? Let's see. He thought there was something else he wrote about. Oh. And then he's talking to the guy next to him on the cross, the other cross. I don't worry about this guy's eternal salvation while my physical body is in. No, he was fully God, but that doesn't mean he didn't feel it. He was fully man. He was going through all those painful things that you would imagine you going through. And he still take care of my mom. And God's going to take care of you. Even then. Not trying to make you feel totally bad, but share some of my guilt, would you? Because you're all faced with this every single day. If you're not faced with someone else's needs at least a couple times a week, you need to get out of your condo. You need to go to the grocery store. You need to sit in traffic and do something. Give yourself a little test every now and then. He knew the Father had put all things under his power. He knew it. He knew it, and he still did it. That's cool. Then the betrayal. Verse 26, it jumps over and, all right, no, I won't talk about that. He's finishing up with Judas there. Last thing Jesus did. He taught him. That's what he was doing this whole time. I kind of said that, but this whole point is to get his disciples to learn a lesson, to learn something. He wonders, when he looks, he begins that question in verse 17. Do you understand what I've done for you? And maybe we'll just, no, we can't finish it there, but definitely take that question and put it in your notes or somewhere. Take that one home with you. Do you know what I've done for you? Do you know? Not because now you owe me. That has never been the attitude that Jesus had. That has never been the attitude that God had towards us. Not, do you not know what I've done for you? Now because that sounds something like I would say to my kids, right? Do you not realize how much I've sacrificed for you? Do you not know how much money it takes to raise you and keep you out of jail? Do you not realize how much I could have killed you 100 times? Wait, it wasn't like that. It's like, do you know? Do you understand? Do you know what he did for you? Do you know that? Do you understand it? Because what he did for you was serve a need you had. Your need for a Savior. He is the ultimate servant to you. He showed us what it looks like to set aside ourselves. He already knew he was. This is not and I've taught this wrong, regardless of what you think of yourself, serve others, love others, whatever. That's not it. You have to be secure in who you are in Christ before you can do this. You cannot serve out of straight obedience. If you're serving out of obedience, it is noticed. Because you will do it regretfully, you will do it begrudgingly, you will do it with a bad attitude. But when you understand what he's done for you, you do it out of a heart that has learned. And it's out of a heart that is actually serving and seeing others for who they are in him. See, he comes into our lives and he loves us. He receives us. He meets all our needs. And a lot of times I think that's pretty much all it's about. He's met my needs. He's going to meet my needs. God's going to take care of me. And sometimes, honestly, I look at others and say, well, God will take care of you. I mean, right? I mean, if I understand that my needs are getting met, then your needs are going to get met. And we can kind of think that way, but it'd be wrong. Because what I've done is I've not noticed how my needs got met by somebody else. How God uses people to meet needs. Now, don't think you're so good that nobody's needs are going to get met if you don't do something. He doesn't need us. He wants us. He cherishes us. He loves us. And he wants us to feel what he feels when he serves. There is something about the verse, I didn't give you that verse, that it's better to give than to... Yeah, I don't believe it either. I mean, especially around Christmas. I think that's stupid. No. But there's some times in our lives where we need to understand that. But we don't get it. You're not going to get it until you give. Whether it's your time, whether it's your money, whatever it is that you have been called to serve someone else in, you will not understand the better of it until you do it. And I wish we could just bottle the thing that God is wanting us to feel when we do it, and then just serve it to you at our food lines. But we can't. You will only experience it when you experience it. Jesus says in verse 14, now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should also wash one another's feet. It's just about the do it. I hope that if you've been here for 2 weeks, that you haven't heard a sermon on service that you think, well, yeah, that was really good. I mean, I hope you think that, but and you're like, yeah, we all need to do more. But then don't. I mean, what good is that? If God is moving in your heart. Every single time you even think about needs of others, regardless of what you decide to do, he's the one that's placing that there. If we just start acting like that, okay, you might think, well, how do you know? Okay, let's just go with wrong, even if I'm wrong. And we respond to needs every time they come into our minds and our hearts. God will get glorified. And we will feel that service to others. And that's what he's after. There's a blessing, there's a joy, there's a happiness. Not talking about service, not hearing about service, but actually doing it. This light that he says that you claim we have, and I claim I have, and we hide it when we don't serve. And we keep it to ourselves. And the Bible asks you, who, by discovering a light, would set it up on a hill and then cover it up? Who would then hide that? And quite frankly, I have to answer that question daily. Me. Stupidly. Me. God, you picked a pretty ignorant one down here. And I'm not even talking about one of y'all. I'm talking about me. I don't seem to be getting it, God. And then along comes grace, and we come full circle. And he's like, that's okay. I knew you weren't going to get it yet anyway. Now let's get out there and try again. Knowing. Let's all stand. Because there is work to be done. And I wasn't priming you to tell you work that needs to be done around here. There is work to be done around here, though. Oh, I didn't even remember that. There is work we got to do as soon as we leave. All the chairs in this section have to be stacked back there and back there against the wall. So, girls, y'all don't have to do it. There's enough guys in the room. Unless you're one of those, then knock yourself out. But if we could just get them into stacks of 8, we'll move them. So y'all can just stack them up into stacks of 8. Just this center section. Leave your side section. And then that's good. We had 60 kids on our campus this past week doing a little camp, and it was awesome. So, yeah. I know. They had some service projects. I don't tell you enough about the kids. I don't tell you enough about the people who come into our campus and use our campus and then impact our community some. I think they did do some beach cleanup and things like that. March is coming. Spring break's coming. Gear up, baby, because they're coming. What's that? I can't hear you. How many weeks? Holy crap. It's only 2.5 weeks? Is that why Ron was sweating? UK over here in 2.5 weeks. We are currently at 90. So that's we're gonna, oh, not including staff. So we're 110, 100 plus our volunteer 100. So we're still gonna be a fun week. Can't wait. So if you can serve March 12th, anytime March 12th through the 19th. It's 3 meals a day for 90 people, plus service, plus cleanup, plus. So it's a great time. So if you'll just see Mally, myself, Johnette, hey, put me down for something that week. Please don't tell me what you will do, because that doesn't help. Just say, I'll be here. And we'll try to keep it as clean as possible. Something else I was going to tell you. Got the chairs, got spring break. Huh? Oh, yeah, I gave an update on Wednesday. So Jansen, yeah. So, okay, so let me tell the whole story before you do anything. Valentine's Day, he got his new heart. Tuesday, he was sitting up in his bed. They took the chest tubes out yesterday. He was back in the emergency room last night with fluid. And back awake this morning doing better. So right now it's like, so if you, any praying for, it's praying for Amanda, because Jansen's got the drugs when this happens, okay? I'm not saying that bad, but Amanda doesn't. So Amanda's having to be, we're doing awesome, we're not doing good. We're doing awesome, setback. So when a 39-year-old gets a brand new heart, there's a whole different ball game going on out there. So he did well. He did well in surgery. It was awesome. I mean, I'm glad. Thank you all, church, for helping me go there and just be there with them. So that was last week. So that's where we are just as of this morning, that he woke back up after surgery, seems to be doing well. He had a leak in a valve, and the fluid had built up around his heart. And they're talking possible rejection, but right now, thumbs up. Is that murmuring? I always wondered what murmuring was. Is that what murmuring is? Okay. I always thought it was a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I just have never heard it. But right then it just went. I'm like, that's murmuring. Yes, ma'am. Oh. Kay and Carl's daughter was in a pretty big car wreck on Thursday. So they left. They're headed that way. They're there now. She's good. She's got broken ribs and some other stuff, but they're there to help take care of her. Yeah, remember them, definitely. Anybody else? That's fine. That's good. I like that. No? Awesome. So this week, see you Wednesday night for a family fellowship meal and Bible study in the retreat center. Service day on Thursday. Market days on Thursday. Oh. Hey, Thursday, you know, when we're serving our community on Thursday and they're handing out food in the market and you're like, I'd like to volunteer in there, and the building's too small and you can't do it. Did you know that all of our clients sit outside from about 8:30 in the morning till about 4? And they just sit there? Did you know that you could actually come talk to them? We serve coffee. You could make some coffee and take it down. Have enough volunteers here. We make them come up to the church, get a cup of coffee, go back down and get in line. And some of them are fighting for positions, not fighting, but they've been here since 8:30 because we do it in a line system. Do you know there's actually stuff you can do outside and just interacting with people? And I don't say that facetiously. I'm saying that's a thing. You can come and serve. Almost every day here, there's something to come and serve. Hey, real quick, let's figure out who the farthest state away is. You, homeschooler, I'll help you. We'll start farthest west. Anybody? Washington, California, Nevada? Wyoming? Look, I'm pretending. The Dakotas, that puts us in the middle. So Dakotas down to Texas. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, you're kind of like, you're both. So far, though, we'll give you that as we call you what do we call y'all? Part-timer? Is that part-timer? More than like 3 months is a part-timer. Oklahoma. Okay, but you didn't come from Oklahoma to date. Is that what y'all did? Like where you were born, y'all did it that way? Okay, I'm talking about where you're living. 2 streets down. Okay, how many of you are Florida? You're just Florida. I just live in Florida. That's all. That's about right. So okay, let's just do it. Michigan? We usually reserve the entire side. From now on, you sit over there. Wisconsin, I think that's a big one. There's a few. Missouri? Ohio? Oh, Illinois? Indiana? See, we're Midwest corridor people. I can't help it. Tennessee? Kentucky? Massachusetts? New York? Well, Jersey, okay, Missouri wins. Michigan wins. Oh no, sorry. That was most number. What'd you say? Pennsylvania? Is that farther? What are you? Oh, we got another Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania's the farthest away. Anybody check my geography? Oh, what? South America. And what? Nice. Somebody buy her one of them Easter shell things for winning this contest. I would just give it to you, but we don't operate that way. Somebody has to serve you. Let's see who is listening. Awesome. Thanks for being here. See how we ramped you back up and you feel good now? Don't let that stick. He'll get you. He'll get you. Who's going to pray for us? Mike, you want to pray for us? Go for it.
For the reign of God will never end. He's come and he will come again. The Lord of all my confidence. His name is Jesus.
When you stand, I feel the floor of heaven tremble. As you breathe, we live and have our being. When you speak, oh, I feel it in my chest. And when you sing, oh, my fears are put to rest. And what a wondrous thing I could stand to say. 'Cause when I fall to my knees, you're the one who pulls me up again. And what a mystery that you notice me. And in a crowd of 10,000, you don't miss a thing. Oh, you don't miss a thing. When you sigh, the wind becomes a sonnet. When you laugh, the storm around me ceases. You whisper, and all my enemies are scattered. You surround me with angels on assignments. And what a wondrous thing I could stand to say. 'Cause when I fall to my knees, you're the one who pulls me up again. And what a mystery that you notice me. And in a crowd of 10,000, you don't miss a thing. 'Cause you see There's no place I can go, your love won't find me. No place I can hide that you don't see. No place I could fall, your love couldn't catch me. You see it all, you see it all through the eyes of love. Oh, oh, oh. There's no place I could go, your love won't find me. No place I could hide that you can't see. No place I could fall, your love wouldn't catch me. You see it all, and you're in everything. You're all around me, yeah. When I was dry, still you pursued. There's no place I can go, your love won't find me. No place I could hide that you don't see. When I misunderstood, your love understands me. You see it all, you're in everything. There's no place I could go that you won't find me. There's no place I could hide that you don't see. No place I could fall, your love wouldn't catch me. You see it all through the eyes of love. So come and see me, come and know me, come and search my heart and make me like you, like you. I just wanna be like you. Come and see me, come and know me, come and search my heart and make me new, make me new. I wanna be just like you.
eyes have now been filled. My heart has now been set on love. I've turned my gaze to this, the one in which my soul cries out for. Well, there is none I've known that holds my heart as you do now. I've made for you a home, a place where love can grow and be found. Drop to me, Jesus. I made my heart a home. My love is Jesus. My love is you alone. Well, draw to me, Jesus.
trust in you. And I believe that you're my healer. And I believe that you are all I need. And I believe that you're my portion. And I believe you're more than enough for me. Jesus, you're all I need. Hold my every moment. You calm my raging sea. You walk with me through fire. You heal my disease. And I trust in you, yes. And I trust in you. And I believe that you're my healer. And I believe that you are all I need. And I believe that you're my portion. And I believe you're more than enough for me. Jesus, you're all I need. Nothing is impossible for you. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible for you. You hold my world in your hands, yeah. Nothing is impossible for you. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible for you. You hold my world in your hands. I believe that you're my healer. And I believe that you are all I need. You're all we need. You're all we need. And I believe that you're my portion. And I believe you're more than enough for me. Jesus, you're all I need. Jesus, you're all I need. I believe that you're my healer. I believe that you are all I need. I believe that you're my portion. I believe you're more than enough for me. Jesus, you're all I need.
the ends of the earth. For you alone are the Son of God, and all the world will see that you are God. You are God. Jesus, I